This event is dedicated to all special children, parents of special children. Ladies and gentlemen, the first India Inclusion Summit in this country is dedicated to all of you who have come across a special child and want to do your small bit.
A few years back, it occurred to me that I had a leg injury and I was at home for almost a year on wheelchair. And then it really stuck to me that, you know what, it's so difficult to be disabled, so difficult to actually be physically, and it probably even more to be mentally. So that's when I started studying and reading about and started meeting people about with respect to autism, and that's when the story started forming in my mind. So I took the protagonist, who is a 18-year-old young girl who is autistic at the high end of the spectrum, and then the story is all about her.
I was able to be associated in a very small, tiny way with the Forum for Autism in Mumbai, and it allowed me to learn a little bit about things that I did not know, and it came in very handy when I noticed that my cousin's son was not at a position where he should have been, and we were able to detect that very quickly. And that is when I realized the great importance of letting people know.
At a very young age, I had to take in a lot of pressure. Pressure to perform, the pressure to survive, the pressure to prove myself consistently. Break all the barriers to make sure that I am a part of the people in the school or in the college.
Exposure that you give the child, not only are you doing yourself, your family a favor by looking at new things, the people around you have a right to know that they are different people, and they have a right to know that they need to accept them as people like all of us do.
I always would like to glamorize disability rather than a kind of put it in negative connotations.
I would now reframe as crime as vice disability act. I think we should start using the word disability there rather than here.
Many persons with autism are endowed with a very refined sense of the aesthetic, manifested through exceptional abilities in music, movement, or visual art and design. Harnessing and building on this would be a wonderful way to ensure not just their inclusion, but their contribution to the development of the arts.
Many children on the autism spectrum are extremely musical. Can we do something to use music to teach them other skills? As the sessions progressed, we could see that the children were picking up not just music, but also some social skills. So without someone instructing them, we would find that they would begin clapping at the end of every song.
Kid who actually had been rejected by all schools because he couldn't hold the pencil, he couldn't write, and he was almost 11 years old. I suddenly discovered that Orko is one of them. A collection of paintings done by autistic people from across the world. There are some very accomplished painters who are actually professional painters who are autistic, and Orko's work has featured in that.
There are some medications which do help in reducing the stiffness in the body, but most of it cannot reach our country, our population, because of the cost.
Religiosity is a good mediating factor. Those who are spirituality oriented, they cope with the condition much better.
You need a combination of Ayurveda, which includes yoga. Yoga, pranayama, and all of these other sources all provide an opportunity to deliver balance. The balance which it gives you is hugely valuable, because that balance calms the mind and allows your body to achieve healing. And everything in the autistic spectrum or in the cerebral palsy spectrum deals with that entirely.
If you look at any of the mental disorder, where they begin with depression and it ends with schizophrenia, and in between you have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, you have bipolar disorder. So all these disorders are actually affecting your behavior, and predominantly this comes from two things. One is lack of sleep and breathing pattern changing. So when I reverse mental disorder, these are the two things which we actually restore back.
What kind of developments have you experienced in your personal life since you joined SAP Labs?
I feel more confident.
Okay.
I'm becoming more and more independent.
Wow, okay.
And I've made friends on my own.
What kind of challenges do you have in your life?
I have Asperger's syndrome.
And how do you deal with it?
My parents helped me deal with it.
Can you explain a little bit?
Difficulty in communication, social skills and behavior issues.
I understand that you are good at a few things, something different.
And, I have a good memory. I can concentrate and do hard work.
Parents who tend to glamorize disability in the child or share it openly, they tend to cope better.
My request to the parents, to the professionals sitting here, to the corporate sector, to any friends, any family members, please give the support to the family at that level, and that will strengthen the family.
It is important for us to think about what we can do and try and nurture that into productive resource that we can use later on in life as we go along. Focus on the ability rather than the disability, and I believe that every single human being has an ability.
And I think I was just 10 months into my job, and I when I passed the exam, only 54% globally had passed the exam.
You think it's possible, as we think that music can make a difference to all our lives. As I was tuning in the tambura to get in the fine pitch, I felt pretty much that, like we always believe, music fine tunes us as human beings. Our mind, our soul, our heart, brings us more in connect with our inner selves, so that we can be in harmony with the outside.
हॉलीडे आफ्टर तब खेलेंगे, ठीक है? पिंकी, ये क्या लगा हुआ है? पिंकी, मुझे माँ बुला रही है, बहुत गुस्सा करेंगे। पिंकी, जल्दी से घर जाओ। कल मैथ्स का एग्जाम है, याद है ना? चलो जाओ। उसे किसी इंस्टीट्यूशन में क्यों नहीं भेज देती? क्यों? इंस्टीट्यूशन क्यों? बुद्धि इज फाइन। और हाँ, मैं मैथ्स में गोल्ड मेडलिस्ट थी। रेडियो ऑन करके पढ़ती थी। जिन्हें मैथ्स आता है, उन्हें सिंगिंग से प्रॉब्लम नहीं होती।
My dad is the best investor in my life, and the only return that I could give him is the joy, which I'm sure my dad would have definitely forgotten how much he has spent on me.
We in corporate don't even know that these people are available. The second part is it's a great business idea for us.
A lot of our work actually is getting outsourced. In that outsourcing, can we actually employ persons with disabilities? Yes, we can, because a lot of that work happens in the periphery. There is no real risk to the job.
We are unlearning and learning to embrace people of different abilities. And I think we have amazing potential. If you look at employees with autism, if you look at testing as a part of software development life cycle, there's no one better than them.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable. But just that we are not aware.
Believe that we can work with them and they're as abled as anybody else. It's just that their disability is seen, ours is not seen.
And I think this is a group that has the greatest amount of resources, the greatest canvas, and I think the greatest sense of responsibility to improve our own lives by expanding the scope and really making it an equal opportunity for everyone.
Our vision is that the India Inclusion Summit in 3 years' time will become the largest inclusion event in the world.